You know, they're selling y'all wolf tickets, people. You're eating them right up.
Hey, pussy, are you still there?
I back. Trust me, I back.
But I'm not impressed by your performance.
You'll do nothing. You'll do nothing. Shut your fucking mouth, you'll do nothing. You'll do fucking nothing. Not one of you will do nothing.
I'll tell you what, bro. You know, I was out there, I was fighting all the hitters, bro. You ain't fought no hitters.
Come on, guys. It's normal.
I'm not saying I would fight you. I would kill you.
John, do you think I'm just gonna sit there and let you kill me, John? I mean, really?
No, don't be scared, homie. I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the fuck he wants.
I'm gonna beat you into the living death. I mean, maybe that's your job, but where I come from, you know, people like that get slapped.
That's fucking illegal.
Next year, you just shook up the world. How's that feel?
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Yeah, this is a simulated death match. And you haven't simulated anybody's death yet.
I said it last year. We're not here just to take part. We're here to take over.
What is the game plan going in against him?
The game plan is you go in there, hit him with some good shit, don't get hit, and come home with a pocket full of cash.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Everybody's on steroids. The whole UFC, everybody.
I'm gonna go home tonight. I'm gonna drink a Coors Light. That's a Coors Light because Bud Light won't pay me nothing.
Do you want to be a fighter? That is my question.
Any of you radio personalities think you want smoke? Call me Mr. Cheese. I want smoke.
Yes. What is up? What is up, MCR family? It's another live fight chat edition of the show. We're going to be here live, give our commentary and our analysis of obviously Tyson Fury versus Francisco Pianeta, and obviously the main event, Carl Frampton versus Luke Jackson. Take your calls live during the fights. Post-fight media reactions, 323-870-4051. Hit the like button, subscribe, share the show. Obviously, find the show on podcast form, on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, etc. But of course, it's a live fight chat edition. So you know, I'm joined by none other than the man himself, the human box wreck. Santiago, how you doing?
Doing good. It's been a very long wait just to get them to start the stream, you know. So
yes,
I'm excited to gratefully get the introductions out of the way, and we just jump right into the fights.
And quickly, though, I do want to say this. Shots at Showtime for not getting the Patty Barnes and Christopher Rosales fight. Rosales knocking him out via body shot in the 4th round. So shout out to Rosales. Called it. I'm just going to say that, you know, to my own horn. But obviously the co-main event is about to start. Tyson Fury versus Pianeta. Both guys are in the ring. Action is about to... resume, I would say, yeah, because obviously the action was halted because prelims. Anyways, digressing. Call in, because we're going to take callers mid-round, after the fight, etc., 323-870-4051. And obviously, because we don't have a Skype line up right now, if you are an international caller and want to get in, email me, mixedcombatradio@gmail.com. I can try hook it up. Otherwise, if you do call in via the phone line and you want to pay that, I will get to you immediately if I see that number, because obviously I can tell UK number, so you guys don't have to wait on and spend god-awful amount of money on minutes. But let's get to the action. First round literally about to start. Santiago, are you excited?
I'm just excited for Wilder to get in the ring. That's what I'm waiting for right now, more than anything.
Really? First round has started, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what happens. Tyson Fury on the back foot, pumping the jab out. Now, I would say this. He already looks, so much skinnier since the last fight with Zafiri. Already looks, athletically, I would say, a little bit more on point. That you can just tell there's a difference in the first fight back.
Considerable amount of difference. Just looking at the way he's throwing that jab alone, it's... I think we're seeing him come to form right now, really, in just this first round.
Yeah, and obviously, the Wilder matchup is the one that everyone's talking about. Pianeta having Fury in the ropes. Fury trying to do his Ali impersonation, holding the ropes, dodging shots.
Did a little switch hit right there, too.
That was nice. I like that from Fury. But he's definitely, I think, just more on point right now. That you can just tell, and that's a good thing. We're about a minute down in the round. If you want to sort of sync up with us, about a minute and 55 seconds left in the first round. Pianeta, though, he's going for at least. He's not like Zafiri just looking at him, kissing him. At least he's throwing punches.
Yeah, he's bringing the aggression to him, and it seems he did his homework about what to do with him being at least 4 inches shorter than Tyson Fury.
Agreed. Fury landing good right hand of the body right there.
Keeping good control of the mid-range right now, too.
Agreed. About a minute left in the round. Good right hand there from Fury.
Caught the glove, but it still managed to force its way through.
Yeah, because even though it caught the glove slightly, I think most of it was able to push through and land. I wonder, though, if what he's doing here. Obviously, he's going to win. I mean, he's landing the better shots right here. I think he's probably going to get Pianeta out of here within 7 rounds if he keeps this activity up.
I think so,
especially with the body work. He's landing a lot of shots to the body. Good left hand there. He's also a southpaw right now. For those that he's been switching a lot lately.
I remember when he was actually training to be a southpaw. I think after the Steve Cunningham fight.
Good job slipping all that aggression from Pianeta.
Good jab to the body.
Agreed.
Yeah, Fury just pretty much just having a really good first round, doing his thing, and making Pianeta feel the size difference.
Left hand from Pianeta misses. Another one misses.
And that is the end of the first round.
Easy 10-9 for Fury.
Easy. And honestly, I didn't actually expect him to look that good, personally.
No, because he didn't look good in the Fury fight. Athletically, he didn't seem like he was on point. The fluidity wasn't there. Plus, I mean, just the physical shape he was in that fight was still pretty
far from where he is right now. Like, 20-pound difference.
I think Brian Custer mentioned that he was over 270 in the last fight.
274 for the Zafiri fight, and right now he's like 258, I believe.
Basically 20 pounds of difference. You can tell he's so much more faster, fluid and just overall athletic with an extra 20 pounds of fat off of him.
Plus, there's a lot more conviction with what he's doing too. You can see it.
Showing some highlights now of Fury in between the rounds. Landing some really good body shots.
And Fury's got a bit of eagerness to him too. Couldn't wait to get to the center of the ring already for the second round.
Good right hand there. Obviously, Fury's not known to be like a power puncher, but I think you can probably just walk down Pianeta. Like, there is still a drastic size difference here.
Yeah,
even though that's not Fury's style, I think he could. If he wanted to force a knockout, I think Fury could.
Yeah.
He's still at that level of competition right now.
Plus, Fury's doing a really good job of just taking advantage of his advantages more often than not. You don't see him trying to smother. You see him trying to make the space to throw his punches.
Fury's defensive ability is still so naturally gifted. Even at is still an overweight, still a guy that's trying to get back into the rhythm of things. His head movement's amazing. It truly is.
And for a tall guy too, man. That's the thing. At 6'9", he's not exactly a guy you would expect to have, head movement outside of swaying. So he's doing pretty good, really.
For any of those trying to find the video of the Wilder Blajo Saunders altercation from TBV that was unfortunately taken down due to unknown reasons, you can find most of it on my IG, Mixed Combat Radio. Check it out.
Good little left combination by Tyson Fury, hooking to the body.
Fury needs to be a little more active with the jab, in my opinion.
Yeah. Like right now we're getting gaps of inactivity,
Mm-hmm.
but you can also see that Pianeta is very wary of trying to get inside because Fury is catching him with some good shots coming forward.
Yeah. Agreed. Right hand there from Pianeta.
Good little short straight right to the head by Fury lands.
Another good right hand after that too.
Now Fury's got Pianeta on the back foot, which is not going to serve him well whatsoever at this point with those advantages.
Fury very relaxed, hands down, playing with his food a little bit.
He's flowing. Look at that. He's just flowing right now. He's just letting himself do his own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Pianeta's very hesitant to just come forward. And that's the end of the second round.
Yeah, easy 10-9 again for Fury. It should be this way until there's an eventual finish, in my opinion.
Yeah, easily.
Eventually, Pianeta's going to get tired, eat a shot to the body or whatever, and it's going to be
He's going to get
off.
worn out. The attrition is gonna serve Fury well. I see him definitely just taking this until Pianeta's corner says, that's it, we're done.
Agreed. If you're even in the corner of Pianeta, what do you even tell him right now? You tell him just to swarm Fury, keep the pressure?
That would definitely be my advice to him because, yes, Fury is taller, but the thing about guys like Fury is that it's not often that they have a full understanding of how to use their height and reach. So I would definitely try to push forward to the chest, work that body, bring the head down, and come over with like a overhand or something. You cannot stay in the middle distance and try to box in because that's just he does not have the reach.
And also, I'll point out that Pianeta has not really pressured the body at all.
No, he's not. Fury's actually been the one working the body a little.
Yeah, I think if you have a guy that's a mover, that's constantly being elusive, you gotta make him stop moving. How do you do that? Work the body.
Kill the body and the head will follow.
Yep.
Tried and true adage.
Especially if he's not landing up top, bring it down low a little bit.
Yeah.
It'll help.
And what I like is that Fury's actually comboing off the same hand sometimes too.
Mm-hmm. Good little combination from Fury. Not really putting enough emphasis on his shots or enough.
A little pit pat shots here and there,
Yep.
Just to keep Pianeta wary.
Mr. Breathe into the mic, Santiago. As he just gives me the look of I'm gonna kill you. Pianeta, he's even when he has Fury in the right position to throw his shots and land them, especially to the body, he does, and he chooses to headhunt, go up top. But again, Nigel said in the chat, Pianeta's not supposed to win this fight.
He's not supposed to win it, and really, when it comes to a tall guy fighting a guy taller than him, when you've never had to deal with that, it presents a unique challenge.
Mm-hmm.
At 6',
you're not used to it.
At 6'5", you're generally already pretty tall, especially for heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyson's 6'9".
True.
You don't spend your days trying to come forward, duck under, and trying to do what guys like Brandon Rios would do.
Pianeta already looking a little bit tired, breathing heavy. Fat Apple saying stamina may be a question mark, so hope it goes long. I think in reference obviously to Fury in the comeback. I would like to see it sort of go rounds a little bit just to see if Fury can keep up the same pace, be consistent.
It would serve him well, too, to be able to keep up that kind of pace, too. Big guys aren't really known for their stamina.
No. Which is, kind of obvious. If you're, 260-plus pounds, running around the ring for 36 minutes, you should be tired at the end of that.
Yeah. 20 seconds to go into the third round. Fury pretty much just having his way right now. Good little straight right, left hook to the head. little showboating there.
Mm-hmm.
And Pianeta just failing to push forward at this point.
Yeah, Fury's having fun.
Yeah, and right now, it just seems so evident that Pianeta is not going to be able to do much. Like, the first round, he looked like he had an idea of what he needed to do as a smaller fighter, but just starting from the second round forward, he's pretty much just been relegated to like, well, shit, now what do I do? Yeah, definitely think that Pianeta's doing a lot better. I definitely didn't think he's going to look as convicted in his attack as he does. And, my surprise is how well he's been working that body, too, Most tall guys would work the head over anything else. So kudos to Fury making sure to try and wear Pianeta down with the body shots. Fourth round has started. Fury pumping that jab. Little feints here and there, keeping Pianeta on his toes, wary of coming forward. He's doing a good job of generally just trying to keep the fight in the center of the ring. Good left hook to the body by Tyson Fury. They clinch. Pianeta trying to work while in the clinch. No success. Pianeta with a wild right hook. Misses over the top. Another clinch.
Have I missed anything?
Not much. Just Fury ducking under a wild right hook by Pianeta.
So nothing then.
Nothing.
Nothing. Exactly.
And I think the stream just froze, or you accidentally paused it.
Nope. That's the Showtime streaming right there.
Woo!
I wonder what the views are for this. Like how many people are on it? Oh, 13,000 people live watching it on Showtime. Not bad. Good little left hook there, actually, from Pianeta on the inside.
And about 900 watching it on the Facebook live stream, too.
But Facebook sucks.
Hey, not everybody likes IG or YouTube.
Or Periscope. Periscope sucks, too. I hate when they stream fights on Periscope. It's awful.
Periscope is number one.
No, it really isn't. It's one of the worst. It's not as bad as Facebook, though. Fuck Facebook. They deleted my profile. About a minute left in the fourth round. I'm just ready for this fight to be over and to have the Wilder moment, to be completely honest.
Like I said, that's the one I'm waiting for right now.
Yeah.
I am pleasantly...
And then Frampton. I want to see Frampton.
Yes,
obviously.
of course. And I am pleasantly pleased with how Fury's looking in this fight.
Yeah, but the problem with Fury is that he really doesn't have that power, so it's this. It's this for 12 rounds or 10 rounds.
Yeah.
10 rounder. You know it's going to go long in his fights because he doesn't have that power to hurt you. And luckily for us, though, he's fighting competition that are so bad, he should still get a finish, though.
At the very least.
Yeah, but if he's fighting, let's say, Dylan White, there's no way he knocks out Dylan White. That's going in 12 rounds, guaranteed. Fury having fun in there, though. Good for him. Getting off the cocaine habit. Stop using PDs. At least he's doing what he's loving. That's good. Andre, with all caps, channeling his inner legendary boxer, saying no power and very lanky in regards to Fury. At least it's now not no power and he's fat.
Yeah.
Right?
And you gotta give kudos to the weight loss. I'm a guy who lost 40 pounds for Border Wars. Mm-hmm. Tyson Fury's lost like about almost close to 100 pounds, maybe 80.
Fat apples. That's a funny comment. This fight just isn't. First off, it's not an interesting fight. The matchup isn't interesting. The only reason we care about this matchup is because of the Wilder situation. Let's just be honest about it. Do any of us really care about Pianeta in this fight? No. Like you say, Santiago, we kind of want to see what Fury looks like in this. We got that. We know what he looks like. Though I forget who said it. I think it was maybe Fat Apples. So he kind of wanted him to go round to see what the cardio was like. I agree. That's one last sort of question mark we have. But I think his cardio is probably fine, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He has never been one to have bad cardio as well, I would say.
No. And really, I think, for me at least, the biggest knock on him was that he was a stereotype big heavyweight guy who was big, but really not like the lighter guys, had an understanding of how to use his height and reach to his advantage, you know?
Fifth round has started, ladies and gentlemen. If you wanted to sync up with us, 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the round. Fury content with just being on the outside, boxing, making Pianeta look like a little bit like an amateur. Though to Pianeta's credit, I think we're not really saying it. Pianeta is landing some shots. He is.
Yeah, and he's definitely Pianeta's, like I said,
he's trying.
He's trying. He's trying to be the short come forward fighter, which is a tall order for anyone who's never had to do it for most of their career.
Good double jab right hand. A few seconds ago. If you're Fury and you are in his shoes, do you try to push for this finish, or do you just keep doing what you're doing?
No, I keep doing it, especially if I have an understanding that I don't have that kind of power. Wear him down, keep working that body, and just put it to the point where either he decides he doesn't want to continue, or the corner says, no, there's no point in continuing anymore.
I don't think that happens, though. I don't think the corner stops it. Because realistically, I don't see Pianeta getting hurt yet. Unless it's a body shot. Fury's not really throwing anything with mustard on it,
Yeah. But they still have some pretty decent snap to them, at least.
Like, occasionally he'll throw a right hand with something, like a little bit something on it, but this is still a sparring match, in a way.
Yeah, I could see that.
Right? Like,
I could see that, definitely. We've had plenty of those to know.
Fat Apple saying this is looking similar to the Hammer fight. Hammer top 15, though, compared to Pianeta. I mean, heavyweight fights usually don't look that great. Like, I know we just had Chisora Takam and Dylan White versus Joseph Parker, which were two fantastic heavyweight fights on the same card. But let's be honest here, people. How often do we get...
Yeah, those are far and few in between.
We don't get fight of the year heavyweight fights usually. Like, that just doesn't happen. Andre Diacono saying, how can Showtime sell this guy as pay-per-view knowing his body of work in his two fights? Shaking my head. Did you watch that promo that they played before this card of Fury Wilder?
Not even that. Anybody who's like even following the lead up, who was following the lead up to this fight was probably watching the little promo from when Wilder's knocked out Spielka. I know I was watching that when Tyson first came into the ring.
Yeah.
Anyone had to have been watching that too.
Well, yeah, I mean.
Yep. And there he is. There's the Bronze Bomber. Doing a little.
Excellent slipping, he dodging the punches. He surprised me with his corner move when he trapped him in the corner.
You can tell he lost his voice.
The moves I use as well too. He's looking good. I'm trying to get in his head right
Good old Shelly right next to him.
And I'm also giving him a lot of banner and said too. You know, getting in his head and let him know I'm still here. I'm right here. Don't lose focus on this guy. Get in there and get the job and knock him out.
Okay, Wilder. We get it. I wonder if they took him off the commentary team because he lost his voice. Because he was supposed to actually commentate the fight, right? Like, that was
the idea.
Yeah. But back to Dre's, I think, overall point, because there's nothing really in the action. 6th round has started, 2 minutes and 45 seconds if you wanted to sync up. It's easy to promote that fight, Wilder Fury. It's always been easy to promote that one. You have two, and I think Steve Howard put it great, put it perfectly. Like, you have two giant heavyweights, literally, one with insane knockout power, one being the first guy to knock Klitschko off that ledge before Joshua did, having that lineal status in a way.
Yeah, a la Michael Spinks.
Yeah, and I think both of them being such a gigantic personality. Both of them respectively having that. Good uppercut there by Fury. I think it's extremely easy to sell this pay-per-view. And maybe it doesn't do, obviously, a million pay-per-view buys. I don't think it does that. But if this does 250, 300,000, it's a massive success in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I've heard, people that I really respect in the industry saying that it can do like 500, 600. I don't think it does that. But if it does that, it is one of the biggest business success stories of the year in a sense, because that is unheard of. Two guys that have zero pay-per-view history to do even 300,000 is sort of unheard of nowadays. Like that was back in like the Mayweather era, where if the guy did a debut pay-per-view, it could maybe do 300, 350,000. That was back in the early 2000s. That's almost 20 years ago now. So I think it'd be interesting. I think even at this point, obviously I think Wilder's a distinct favorite against this version of Fury.
I would say so too, definitely.
But I'm still sold by it. Like, I'm entertained by it.
Their personalities are what helps sell the fight. Like, these guys are just going to drive you and bring you into their worlds in such a way that you're gonna be wanting to be like, what happens? Like, we know what's going to happen generally, but you still want to see it. You
can make an easy, like, 30 minute to an hour long, like, documentary, like a 30 for 30 on this fight. You could. You really could.
You could.
You go into Fury's background, his cocaine addiction, the PD stuff, go into Wilder, what's happened with him. There's a lot you can sort of delve into in terms of storylines and selling this fight. I think it's an easy sell. It's a slam dunk promotionally, in my opinion.
No. I always felt it was ever since they had that little altercation after the Spilka knockout. For me, that's when it said, yeah, this fight sells itself. That's it.
And plus, it's Showtime. Showtime knows how to sell big pay-per-views. Like, they have the two biggest pay-per-views of all time on their record for Showtime. They know how to do it. This is something they can easily do. That promo they played before this telecast, even though it was, obviously sort of like quickly put together, it was awesome. It was perfect. Like, they need to put that on YouTube. They need to put that on Facebook, Twitter, everywhere, and push it. Put some money behind it, because that promo of basically just Fury on social media talking shit. That's all you need.
Mm-hmm.
And you edit it right, play some good music, some highlight reels. It sells itself. It really does. The round ended, by the way. Interesting to note that I see no Hughie Fury or Peter Fury or John Fury in the corner. It's Ricky Hatton. It's Ben Davidson.
No. It's Ricky Fatton. Let's get that
right. I think that's good. I think that's a good sign.
Yeah.
To get the family out of the corner. I think that's hurt guys like Robert Guerrero, Sean Porter at times. Oh, come on, stream.
Woo.
There we go.
Yeah, you know that he's trying to make the decisions for his career that'll benefit him, especially if he wants to make the Deontay Wilder fight. And you know that he wants to win that fight more than anything. This is not a guy who thinks, he's
cashing out.
He's cashing out.
I don't think he doesn't think that. I really don't think he thinks that. Maybe a guy like Frank Warren doesn't care about it in a way. Like, he's thinking, like, if Tyson Fury loses a Wilder fight, or really worried about him being able to rebuild himself. No, he's the biggest self-promoter in the game. He could easily rebuild himself. That's not really a problem. Like, I think Fury could come out here, lose to Wilder in December on pay-per-view, get knocked out, and come back within a year and a half, 2 years, and fight Joshua for another big paycheck, and then still rematch all those guys. Because Fury is still pretty young. How old is he? He's, 30? Like, I think he's younger than Deontay Wilder.
Yep, he is 30.
Yes, he's older than AJ, but younger than Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder's 33 years old. He has time still on his side, in a sense. What's up, chat? Just reading some of your comments. Fat Apple saying still far more interesting than Fury versus Parker. I don't know what you're referring to. This fight? Because Fury versus Joseph Parker was a fun fight. I actually really enjoyed that one. Maybe he's talking about Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, which obviously it's more interesting than that. Why they stop the action? Headbutt?
I think it might have been a low blow from the looks of it.
Oh, yeah. Just give up, Pianeta. We're good. Come on. Let's just get Wilder in the ring. Let's just go through the motions here. We all know what's happening.
At this point, yeah.
Does that ruin it in your mind? Like, part of, like, obviously we all think Wilder's going to step in the ring. They're going to have this moment. It's going to set up the fight, blah, blah, blah. Right? Everyone's reporting that there's some sort of agreement in place. Mike Coppinger, others are reporting that there's some sort of agreement in place. Does knowing that they're probably going to step in the ring ruin
because
it?
This is still Tyson Fury. I'm expecting something crazy to still happen.
Like, the only recent thing I can compare it to is obviously, like, maybe like the Brock Lesnar, Daniel Cormier thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which was completely sudden. No one expected that. I don't know.
I'll see something. I expect something similar to that.
But see, like,
a little scripted, but something still similar. You know,
obviously, yeah. Angel saying it's a terrible fight. Yes. Oh, Fat Apples. He is talking about Fury versus Joseph Parker and saying that it was a bad fight. Come on, that was a good fight. Did you watch that fight?
No, I never got a chance to watch that fight.
It's on YouTube. You can find it. But I actually really enjoyed that fight. It was a fun style matchup. Watching it live, I definitely thought Fury won it too. Hey, you done chewing the gum there, mister? Into the mic, thank you. Round 7 is over. I've given every round to Tyson Fury.
Yeah, it's hasn't really been that hard to like figure out who's been winning the fight, and really, just like the last couple of live fight chats you and I have been doing together, the stories have kind of been playing themselves over and over again.
Remind me, because Fat Apples is asking a question. Did Kevin Johnson stop Pianeta in the 7th? Or is he mixing up heavyweights?
Hang on.
Thank you. 8th round is about to start.
He's right.
Yeah.
He's right.
Showing the locker room footage of Carl Frampton. I hope he looks good in this fight. Because if he doesn't, it's really sad how quickly he just sort of
came and went.
Yeah, and it's odd. It really is
faster than Sergio Martinez. Martinez was around for like maybe 5 fights.
Yeah, and Frampton, he had a couple fights against, I forget the guys' names. His first PBC couple fights before the Leo fight.
It was the Alejandro Gonzalez debut in America. Then he had the unification with, what was it? Scott Quigg.
Which wasn't televised in the U.S., I want to say.
No, it wasn't. But if you were lucky, you did see the stream. I know I did.
I did too.
And then, Showtime did show the stream. Showtime they did. I remember watching it on TV.
Did they? Or did they air it like later?
Maybe later, but I do remember watching it the same day as the Crawford-Molina fight. I remember because it was perfectly sequenced to just lead into the HBO card. And then after that, he moved up, 126, had the 2 Santa Cruz fights, and then lately, his last fight, Nonito Donaire.
And Rob thinks I'm very harsh on the Donaire fight. What's your opinion on that fight?
I mean, I like the Donaire fight, personally. Given where Donaire was in his career, though, I honestly did expect more from Frampton. I thought he could have gotten a stoppage, but I thought he looked good.
Frampton looked good?
I thought Frampton looked good, and I didn't really have much of an opinion after the fact.
Maybe I am a little bit harsh.
But that's just you, dude. You're a harsh dude.
I'm a big Frampton fan, man. And the fact that he's looked, I'm not going to say poor, but the version of Frampton we got against Leo Santa Cruz in that first fight, compared to every version since, is just drastically different.
No, I would agree with
the
you.
athletic ability of those different Framptons is just apparent in my opinion. But Rob can disagree with me. I know he's a big Frampton fan, as am I. I'm just a cynical fuck,
Hey, and don't forget that I was there to go see the rematch live too.
Yes, true.
Where I won the pie bet.
That's true. Shout out to Mike Garcia. 8th round is about a minute left. We didn't even tell people that the round started. That's how much we don't care about this fight.
I mean, it's the story's become like evident like Tyson looks good. He's pretty much just imposing himself on Pianeta, and it's kind of like we're just waiting. Either this goes 12 or, he gets
10,
a stoppage.
10. Thank God it's not 12. It's 10.
Oh, yeah. Thank
Thank
God.
God. We have, at most, 2 more rounds after this.
At most.
At most, 8 minutes of action and in-between action, right? And then we have, obviously, the post-fight shenanigans. If Wilder doesn't get in the ring, though...
I'm going to be disappointed.
Yeah, I think everyone should.
Everyone's going to be disappointed because it's exactly what we're expecting. Because
Yeah.
Fury did it, and for me, it's only fitting that Wilder does it next. Whether or not it was meant to be scripted, it should happen.
It is what it is. I'm just ready for the fight to be over. Shout out to everyone in the chat. I forgot to do that. I always do that. Lord Jacob, Fat Apples, Rob, Nija, Dwayne. Who else? Angel.
Fern Gully in the chat, too.
EBG, Andre, Tom McGregor. Obviously the cousin to Conor McGregor. Benjamin Franklin. And everyone else that is listening that is not in the chat. Salute to you. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe, and obviously call in. We can take callers now. If you want to call in and shit on this fight with us, we will gladly accept anyone that wants to shit on this fight. So call in 323-870-4051.
I can't believe I already memorized your number.
I'm getting close.
You're getting close? That's
Yeah,
sad. I memorized your number before the host itself.
Sometimes I switch up the 4 and the 5 at the end, which is weird. But I do that more when I type, actually, more so than speaking it. Like I'll just type 5041 instead of 4051. That's what it is.
It's a weird finger dyslexia to have.
Yeah, it is. Benjamin Franklin saying, Fury, another snooze fest. Yes. It is what it is. All right?
But at least he got the rounds in. Better than 4,
Agreed.
Especially for a guy who's coming back from the kind of hiatus and weight loss that he's had. It's good to see him get these rounds in.
Yeah, I just don't want to see these rounds
anymore.
Yeah, I'm like fast forward. Like that's
you want the remote from Click.
Oh my god, man. Life would be so much easier. And plus that movie was so sad at the end. That was actually pretty that was one of the last Adam Sandler movies that was like
good.
Decent. I'm not going to say good.
I mean, I thought it was good, especially because Christopher Walken coming out as the Angel of Death was awesome.
I thought it was good when I was how old when that movie came out. Like how old is that movie? Check it. Like that's what 2006, 2007. Like that's probably a decade ago now. Benjamin Franklin saying, Matt, bro, make Skype line so fans can call from Europe, bro. I know we've been trying to do that, obviously.
Remember that he could try to get you on if you email him at mixedcombatradio@gmail.com. He could send you a link to hopefully let you get the call in. That way you don't have to waste the pounds.
It won't be Skype. It'll be something else, but it's a free call. You can do it international.
12 years.
12 years old. Damn. So that was 2006. Yeah, I was right, huh? Damn, I'm on point today with these years. You guys probably don't know that. Off air before the show, we were talking about a bunch of shit. I was right on almost every date. Let's be honest. Yeah, minute left in the 9th round. Coming up, Frampton versus Jackson. Right now, Fury versus Pianeta in a rather boring affair, to put it lightly.
Yeah. And Fury's just being the bully now at this point. Hell, he's actually stayed in the southpaw position for a good while.
Well, there's no drama. There's no sense of competitiveness. There's no sense of threat or danger here for Fury. It's not like Pianeta is a guy that has lost a bunch of people but has insane knockout power, right?
No, he's not a Randall Bailey.
No. Shout out to Randall Bailey. Or a DeMarcus Corley. Another guy who fought this weekend, I want to say.
I think he might have. Not entirely sure.
Yeah, I want to say, or it was last weekend. Shout out to DeMarcus Corley.
He's been around for a while since the young Mayweather days.
Yeah, which reminds me, I actually watched that fight, I want to say yesterday or the day before, randomly.
Yeah.
I was on YouTube, just watching old fights, and, one of those just kept playing, and all of a sudden that came on. I'm like, oh, shit. Forgot how much Mayweather got clipped in those early rounds, man.
Yeah, man.
Corley was putting it on him. But round's about to be over, I think. Yep.
And I think that was also the fight that let people think that he had a susceptibility to southpaws.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's one of the first ones. Same with like Emmanuel Augustus.
Mayweather acknowledged that one to be one of his toughest fights too.
Yeah. The Drunken Master, who's now obviously reincarnated in Michael Venom Page. Right? I mean, no one else does the Drunken Master like he did.
And I actually saw him before you even told me about him too. That's the crazy thing.
I'm not surprised about that. That guy went viral, man.
I was looking at him thinking, I'd be like, I wonder if Matt knows about him yet.
Anything in the chat that's interesting? Nope. You guys are just talking about this boring fight. Yep. Have fun. Final round, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here for the whole fight, which, I mean, we do it because, well, I get paid. You don't get paid, Santiago.
No, I don't get paid. I never get paid.
No.
My first job, I didn't get paid. I work on commission.
Yeah. That's how life is. But I do it for a job. You guys don't, so thank you for being here.
Yeah, we love to show the support to you.
If I was just a fan, I would completely click off this and just wait for the main event. I would. Or at least, like, I'll have it on the background. I'll be playing something else, whether it's a TV show or some music.
You'd probably be playing Fortnite while this is in the background.
Nah. Maybe. I could do that. Yeah, I could probably do that. Nigel echoing that, saying, what a snooze fest. But, like, what were people expecting? Like, I knew this fight wasn't going to be fun.
Yeah.
Like, I
this was the afterthought.
I knew I had to do a live fight chat media reaction for it because, A, it's Tyson Fury. B, because of the Deontay Wilder situation. But we all knew this fight wasn't going to be entertaining.
Nope.
I mean, how many entertaining Tyson Fury fights are there? Like, honestly, like, I can't think of one.
Nope. And I remember seeing him fight from when he first came on with Steve Cunningham, too.
I remember him in all the hairdos. That's how long I've been watching Tyson Fury. From short hair, ponytail, bald head, crackhead. Okay, now to this, whatever this version is.
Hoarse voice.
Oh, my God. I feel like we need to call it something different that's not funnier, but harsher. Yeah, I'll think of something.
If not you, maybe Rob.
Somebody will. Or somebody has. Come on.
If you have, feel free to share your vote.
Benjamin Franklin echoing this, saying Fury is the most boring fighter in a heavyweight division ever. Stunner saying, but he's not what he used to be. Even when he used to be what he wasn't entertaining.
Nope. Both fights were, but that's about it.
He was more of a spoiler. He was a guy that, in my opinion, when he really first came onto the scene, no one kind of knew him. He was sort of a loudmouth, good boxer, didn't have really that much of an amateur pedigree from what I know, and then just beat guys he wasn't supposed to beat.
Yeah, good guys too.
Good guys.
These weren't guys that we were that were like pushovers initially.
But I think Fury came on as like that loudmouth B side that a lot of people thought he was supposed to get beat because he had no power. He was kind of a gangly, tall,
like I said,
fat white dude.
Initially, to me, he was the stereotypical big heavyweight.
And he just kept playing spoiler, kept beating guys he wasn't supposed to beat. And obviously, his self-promoting natural talent came through every time. So he got him to the Klitschko fight. Again, another fight where I think a lot of people thought he was going to lose.
Dude, I was expecting Klitschko to work him over.
No one thought he was going to win that. And again, he came and played spoiler in a bad, unentertaining fight. Fight's over, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I just didn't feel like it was worth mentioning because...
Broken record.
Yeah, the fight's over.
Go back to when we were actually talking about this
Thank
fight.
God.
That was pretty much it.
Thank God the fight's over. That's all I can say. But yes, shout out to everyone in the chat. Remember, call in now if you want. To give you live immediate reactions to Tyson Fury versus Francisco Pianeta. Obviously, the scorecards have yet to be read. Obviously, whatever shenanigans may ensue have not happened yet. But if you want to call in now, get in on the line. 323-870-4051.
Matt will check his email to see if anybody's emailed
Yes,
him.
that reminds me. I'll do that right now and check that email.
That's where I got like 100 missed email requests.
Oh, my God. That'd be so funny. What do you think the scorecard's going to be?
I would
190.
190. Maybe one judge out of pity will be like 99, 91, or hell, maybe
You might see 98. You might.
or you might even get 99, 90.
Shout out to the stream, man. Come on. Showtime.
Watch it cut out just as they're getting in the ring.
And I hope everyone that gave Facebook shit for cutting out, give Showtime shit. Okay, I don't want to miss shit by buffering. I want to be live, directly live.
And you got good internet too.
Oh my god, it's just the bandwidth, man. But 15K, like that should be able to hold it. Come on. And my internet's flawless, so it shouldn't be that.
Ben Davison and by Ricky Hatton getting his Gypsy King t-shirt on. And Steve Gray.
Thank you, because I still need to hear the scorecards to do the fight updates.
Yep. And plus, I kind of want to hear my post-fight interview, stuff like that.
Also better to be prepared. You never know when Wilder's going to come in the ring.
Never know, man. You never know. Dramatic. 100 to 90. I think all three. I think all three judges gave it 190.
That's the only score I heard. That's the only score I heard.
And they only gave out one name. Was there only one judge?
Maybe the other two fell asleep.
I don't blame them, man. Maybe they quit. They're like, man, fuck, I don't get paid enough to watch this bullshit and score it. Oh, that was too good. Is it raining? Is this an outdoor arena?
It's in Belfast. Where the heck is this? It is at Windsor Park.
So that is okay. That doesn't tell me if it's an outdoor.
Ask Rob. I mean, I wouldn't know.
Okay, people in the chat, let me know if this is an outdoor arena. I'm curious because it looks like it's raining. I'm curious about that. And the crowd boos. So we're not gonna have that moment. Nothing.
Oh man, no. That's where you gotta boo at that point.
Oh no, I see Wilder. Woo! There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
The WBC heavyweight champion of the world is in the ring. And there goes the post-fight interview.
I do have to admit though, Fury has a good beard.
That's actually a very impressive beard.
Well groomed too.
Yeah, better than yours usually.
Oh, definitely.
You got a bushier one though.
Well, he probably gets it professionally done. I trim my own beard.
Well, you either grow it or you just clean shave yourself.
Yeah. No, I trim it. You just don't know.
I think I do.
Okay, I'm over this interview. Come on, let's get Wilder moment. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. You know, do you buy that Fury's ready for Wilder, or do you just not care at this point? Like it's.
Let's just make the fight at this point, really. Like the fight itself is overdue. It would have been the perfect way to lead off the Klitschko win. Oh my god! Because don't forget that at that point they were the only two champions in heavyweight.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The self-styled Baptist, Deontay Wilder. Now here you are, Deontay, face-to-face with a man you came face-to-face with after your successful title defense against Arthur Speaker in January 2016 in Brooklyn. How far are negotiations between yourself and Tyson Fury for a showdown between the reigning WBC champ and the lineal heavyweight?
See, this means he should have the contract in hand and just hand it to Fury.
Are we ready now? This fight will happen. It's on. This is on. This fight is official. It's on, baby.
Oh, wow. Wilder saying it's official.
This is what we've been waiting for right here. The best fighting the best.
So you said that the fight is on. When and where will the fight take place?
We're going. revealed next week. Wait till next week. But the fight is on.
Frank Warren saying that'll be real next week.
Well, Tyson Fury, listen to the ovation that this news has received.
Fat Apples ain't finger looking like a Monopoly man.
The lineal heavyweight champion, man who's never lost his title
Oh, that's good.
against the reigning WBC champion. 40 wins out of 40, 39 inside the distance, and 98% knockout ratio. How much does that whet the appetite to face off against the undisputed WBC champ?
You know, we are two men who will fight anybody. This man has been trying to make a big fight with the other chump. I think we all know who we're talking about. The biggest shithouse inside box.
Tyson, we're live on BT Sport, we're live on Showtime. If we could keep the language clean, it would be most appreciated.
Bring it back here, man. Listen, I called, I answered. I said, send me the contract. They sent the contract. I said yes. And now he gets his chance to fight the lineal heavyweight champion of the world. My promise is, I got me rounds here tonight, 10 rounds. But one thing I promise when I go to Las Vegas is I'm knocking you the fuck out, boom. Boom.
Yeah, shout out to No Cursing on BT Sports.
Apologies once again for the industrial strength language, but these are two fighting men who are...
What did he call it? The industrial strength language? Is that what he just referred to cursing at? Profanity? He could just say profanity.
I'm going to start using that. I'm not going to lie.
Industrial strength language.
It's beautiful.
Oh, that is so corny. Oh, Wilder's going to talk some more.
But that's one thing Tyson Fury has never had. He done had many belts, but he's never had the WBC belt. And if he ever think about having this belt, he better wake up and apologize to me because he'll never have this. I can't wait to fight you because I am going to knock you out. This I promise you. Every victim that step in the ring, I'd have knocked them out in devastating fashion. You've never been knocked out, but you're going to feel the experience, what it feels to get hit by the bronze bomber.
Listen, you can't knock out or you can't hit bum. This man couldn't land a blow on me tonight. First of all, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for giving me victory here tonight. And second, I just want to say, Belfast, you are beautiful! I love you guys! Every time I come to Belfast, it's like a homecoming. It's like a homecoming for the Gypsy King. And 25,000 people came in here tonight and stood in the rain to witness me fight. I promise you, I'm taking the WBC title and I'll bring it back and defend it right here in Belfast.
Final word to you, Deontay, if you could make it brief, please.
This has been an amazing journey. Belfast, you guys has been great. Your welcome has been wonderful. You are wonderful people. I'm happy to be here. But I'm sad to tell you, Tyson Fury will not be bringing the WC belt back here. You guys can see me.
Well, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, thank you very much indeed. We have to wrap it up there, but the fight has been...
That was kind of weird stop there from Wilder. Like, was he about to, like, curse something like that? Like, I don't know. That was kind of weird. Anyways.
Your opinions on that?
It was a little bit too coordinated by the announcer here, in my opinion. I wish it was a little more organic. Like, just literally just put the mic in front of him. But he's BT Sport. Like, there's a reason why he does that. If this was Showtime or even like a premium network over there, maybe where cursing's allowed, I think it would have been acceptable. Like, it would have been a little more organically done because you can tell there was a concern there about what was going to be said and what could pop off. The people in control, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I mean, both guys saying the fight's official. That's interesting to me. Curious to see, what date it is, if it's gonna be in Las Vegas, if it's gonna be in New York. It looked like Wilder was about to answer the question before Frank Warren said we're gonna tell that next week. So I don't know if it's one of those things that's basically agreed upon, but it's not. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know where they're at in terms of the contract, but the fight's official. The build up to Wilder Fury seems to have started. I kind of want to wait for like a press release, or something a little more official from the parties, a date, a venue, a network, all those sort of details that do matter.
Yeah, all the confirmations that
yeah.
tell us basically, yep, this is happening. It's on the calendar.
Yeah, because them just saying the fight's official isn't.
It's not enough.
The fight's not really official.
It's never enough. We need like hard confirmation.
Plus, I really don't believe you can say the fight's official when you have no date and no venue. The fight's not official then. You just agreed upon maybe terms. Fat Apple's asking a publicity tour or a press tour. I don't know if they do that because, in terms of overhead, they probably want to keep their, in terms of promotional and marketing dollars low, so they can reap in as much revenue on the pay-per-view event itself, because they still have to assume it's not going to be a mega pay-per-view. It shouldn't be. Again, if this does above 500,000 pay-per-view buys, it is a gigantic, massive success that no one expected. If it does 300, 200,000, it's still a massive success. So they want to keep the profit margins pretty, small, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to do a press tour. I would like it.
Yeah, I would too.
Even if it's a basic like 3-city one or 2-city one, one in New York, one in London. Something very basic I would be okay with, and I would really appreciate it. I think it would help in terms of sales. Do I think they absolutely need it? Maybe not, but
it wouldn't hurt.
It wouldn't hurt. I think at the very least it would help, to be honest. But call in 323-870-4051 to give your take on this shenanigans. Bamani's in the chat saying, "What's up? What I missed, Matt? Just a very boring fight. Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury basically saying their fight's official for later this year. It is what it is. But yeah, call in Bamani 323-870-4051. Let's talk about it. Fury won by complete wide decision. All the judges gave it every round to Tyson Fury. I believe he probably won every round as well. And I think if you give any less than that, you're being kind of generous to Pianeta.
Yeah, I expected a pity round.
Yeah, honestly, I did as well, and they didn't even give that. But Carl Frampton and Luke Jackson coming up next. So we're going to probably transition, obviously, to that. But yeah, again, call in 323-870-4051. Otherwise, we might take a little intermission here before the main event. So, we do have a caller. Remember, when you call in, press 1 to get on the line. We're going to go to 270. 270. Who is this? Who is calling? 270. 270. Just listening? Okay. Thank you. Yeah, Santiago, we're going to take a little quick intermission here as we head into the main event. Stick around. Be back shortly.
See you soon, everybody.
Yes, yes, yes. We are back. We are back. Sorry about that quick intermission. Just had to be done. Especially these long shows. We're going to do that probably more often now. But Santiago, we are back. How are you doing?
Not bad. Just getting ready for the main event. Carl Jackal Frampton.
Yes, remember you can still call in. We're still taking calls before we head into the main event. So if you want to come in and give your immediate reaction to obviously Tyson Fury, Francisco Pianeta, obviously the call of the Wilder Fury fight being official, you can do that. 323-870-4051. Santiago, have you done any tape study on Luke Jackson?
Not more than I needed to because, like I honestly told you in the my last call when we were talking about this on Wednesday, a lot of these are just showcase fights, really. Like I'm expecting everyone to look what they're supposed to look, but hopefully we will get a little bit more than just a showcase. Like obviously with Frampton, I hope to see something more, especially because he's been here only a short while, and like you said, it'll be a real sudden like up and down for him from when he first came on.
The rise and fall of Frampton would be seemingly after one fight. And even though sometimes fighters have like a fight of the year contender and they just drop off after that, like it takes too much out of them. That does happen. Look at James DeGale. Look how many fight of the year contenders he had. That's possible with Frampton. Though again, it's just he looked so good in that first Leo fight. And his sense of game planning, his sense of timing, his overall IQ in terms of putting combinations together, it just has seemed off ever since that first fight. I don't know if it was just too much in terms of the amount of punches connected, thrown, whatever. It's weird to me, to put it lightly. I don't know what to make of it. Hopefully this fight, because again, Luke Jackson, if you haven't done any tape study on him, he is really a basic fighter, to put it lightly as well. I think his best stuff is on the inside. He has a good left hook. But at range, he has no balance, in my opinion. Falls over himself consistently, I would say, in the tape that I've seen. Definitely rough around the edges. Probably lacks an amateur pedigree of some sort. And has beaten absolutely no one. And as far as I know, this is his first fight out of the Oceania market, right out of the Australian, Tasmania, New Zealand sort of market. This is his first fight out of that regional scene. He shouldn't do well here, in my opinion. If he does, I think it's highly indicative of where Frampton's at.
Yeah, he'll pull off a Jeff Horn at that point.
Yeah, that's such a weird thing because obviously Jeff Horn had the Gary Cochran fight and then the Terrence Crawford fight, right? And nothing was really shown in that to make us go, okay, he's a top 5 welterweight, right? Pacquiao, since that loss, obviously beat Lucas Matisse. Looked actually pretty decent in that, I would say. Looked very good in that fight.
Scored his first knockout since 2009.
So I don't know really how to judge Jeff Horn, especially since his really only win is the Manny Pacquiao close, controversial decision, and Randall Bailey, and it was not Ali Funeka. I think that's an MMA fighter. Who did he fight? Look up his resume, Jeff Horn's. I'm curious about the name I'm forgetting. You're probably gonna recognize his name the second you see it.
I'll be disappointed in you if that's the case.
What, that you will instantly recognize the name once you see it?
Yes.
Why would you be disappointed in me though?
Because. Like what every little kid used to say.
Nice. Luke Jackson's in the ring. Carl Frampton's about to take it, have his walkout. Yeah, it is what it is. Are you gonna be here for top rank fights tonight?
What do you think? I was here for the last ones.
Are you gonna head back home and come back?
Probably not. Maybe just to go get food for us. But after that, I'll probably just hang with you for a bit. Maybe we'll get in the spar again.
No, I'm out of shape, man. I've gained weight.
So have I. I'm 241 right now.
Damn, you gained that weight back, huh?
Yes, I did. Damn. But I don't look half bad as I did back then.
No, I mean, God knows. I've gained some weight though. I need to hit the gym again. I haven't sparred since I broke my hand or broke my finger that time.
Ever since I started working, I haven't had a chance to go back to the gym.
That's true. You work till 6 p.m. nowadays.
Yep. 10, 9, all the way to 6, sometimes 7.
Hit the like button, people. Share the show. We're just here waiting because walkouts always take forever, especially like the guys that really soak it up, you know?
And come on.
Frampton's going to soak it up in Belfast.
Especially if he's playing Sweet Caroline, you know the crowd's just waiting.
I doubt he's playing that. He's not a Sky Sports guy. I don't think Frank Warren plays Sweet Caroline in his shows. Does he?
I mean, he did last time.
No, he didn't.
I mean, I don't know. I just know that it's a song I usually hear the crowd singing.
Because it's a Sky Sports song.
Is it?
It's not a Sky Sports song. Like, they don't own it. But I think that's just a Sky Sports thing. Like, I don't think it's a UK thing. I think it's a Matchroom thing. I could be wrong. Please let me know in the chat. There's obviously a bunch of UK listeners listening on the chat. Let me know who's right. Am I full of shit? Is Santiago completely right? That's just a UK thing. I don't know. Fat Apple saying, how do you break your finger in sparring with boxing gloves on hitting with the fist? Because I have my hand open.
And it's also called hitting my head.
Yeah, I hit the forehead.
Yeah. Matt's probably injured his hand more often hitting the top of my forehead than anything else. No. Same thing with Fern.
You forget walls. That's what every teenage guy does is punch holes in walls. Come on.
I headbutt them.
Nice. But yeah, that's how I did Fat Apples, you know. Reactive, counterpunch, hand was open too much. Hit it at just the wrong spot, and broke one of my knuckle joints. Is that what a knuckle joint? No, I feel like that's not right. Well, my knuckles on my finger, whatever.
Bone joint,
whatever the fuck
knuckle.
You call it. I'm not a scientist. Carl Frampton in the ring. Fine. Well, no, he's not in the ring yet. No, he's taking a bow.
You know what? It was Ali Foneka.
I was right. I thought he was an MMA fighter. I must be mixing up. I must be thinking of Yuki Kondo. He was a MMA fighter. I get their names mixed up all the time, even though they're not like actually alike, but they're just weird Asian names. Dave Dwayne saying, just logged in. Who's winning? The Frampton Jackson fight has yet to start.
Frampton just barely got into the ring.
Yeah, Tyson Fury won his fight against Pianeta, won every round, decision, unanimous decision win, and then said that the fight with Wilder's official, blah, blah, blah. All that good stuff. Remember, call in 323-870-4051. If you are international, you can email me, mixedcombatradio@gmail.com. If you want to get on, I do have a private international link you can get attached to if you wanted to. You just have to email me, and we can get that done. Showing the tail of the tape right now. Luke Jackson actually older than Carl Frampton in age. Don't you love that when that happens?
Fascinating.
When a guy that's obviously vastly older in boxing years, yet is the younger fighter. That's where you know brain damage is a motherfucker. Fern, what up, Fern? See you in the chat.
Probably just still annoyed that he's got such a scratchy throat.
Yeah, I know he wanted to come here today, man, but he's sick. That's unfortunate.
Dude, it's so bad, he couldn't even eat tacos.
Then what's the point of living, am I right? If you can't have tacos, just end it. Fat Apple saying Jackson older and unbeaten. I'm assuming he's probably a late starter.
That happens all the time.
Happens all the time. Like, he's a guy that probably started boxing in his teens, while Frampton probably started boxing like 9 or 8, you know. Jackson probably having no amateur career is another factor, maybe. Or have an amateur career. Maybe sometimes,
They just jump right into it.
Yeah, it happens. The judges are Royce Layson, Steve Gray, and Mike Fitzgerald. 2 UK judges and 1 UK. Or did I say UK for both times? 2 US judges and 1 UK judge. Damn. It's been a long show. We've been live for over an hour now. Hit the like button, subscribe, share the show. obviously be on for probably another hour because I think this fight's probably going to decision. Unless Jackson is just really not that good and Frampton just, chin checks him a couple times. I get to see that.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good left hook.
Frampton?
Yeah.
Frampton has, I think, good punch selection and overall technique, period.
Yeah. He's got a good arsenal to him, despite the fact that he's actually pretty short, too.
Yeah, with the little T-Rex arms. Luke Jackson, 15 or 16 wins and 7 knockouts. Obviously not much of a puncher. You think in the regional scene down there, he would have a much larger knockout ratio. Because even like Joseph Parker in the regional scene back in the day had a pretty high knockout ratio. And then he started fighting people outside that area.
Internationally, where they were not as fragile.
Fat Apple saying Steve Gray, he just reffed the Fury fight. I hate it when refs become judges. But you kind of get like when you're an official, like an officiant to boxing events, you can be a judge or a ref. It's the same sort of, I think, application. I want to say.
Yeah, they used to do it back in the day too, where the referee was the third judge.
Way back in the day.
And I would imagine you wouldn't be surprised if they probably had a better accurate scorecard than the judges who were sitting.
Oh, just because of the angles. Yeah, just being able to
And the fact that they were like literally right there.
Yeah. I'm so ready for this fight to start. I feel like it's been taking forever. I feel like this is the longest intro to a fight we've ever had.
At least they're showing Frampton.
Like, this is like AJ levels of intro. He has a huge walk around Wembley. Has to go on the big fucking fire theatric stage. That's all we missed was the fire stage for Frampton. That's how long this walkout was.
I love that when they did that for Frock Groves the first time.
That was good. Plus, the second time was fun, too. Because that was... Did they hit 80,000 in Wembley for that one, or was it like 70 or 60?
No, they hit 80.
Hit 80? Yeah. The fight that really started the UK boom that no one wants to talk about. That's a 30 for 30, by the way.
That's a 30 for 30 in itself. And it was the last 2 fights of Carl Frock's career, too. I miss him.
Yep. And in conjunction with the obvious boom that put into the boxing industry there. Come on. First round has started, ladies and gentlemen. 2 minutes and 50 seconds if you want to sync up. Both guys trying to just get their sense of timing and range down. Some range-finding jabs. Frampton taking the center of the ring. I like that. I like that he's taking the center, being the aggressor. And also, he looks to be, I'm not going to say the bigger man, but he definitely looks to be at least an equal size to Luke Jackson, which I don't think Frampton has had in quite some time.
Yeah, he's been fighting pretty tall guys.
Yeah, he's been fighting big guys for ever since.
Maybe the last guy that came close to his height being Scott Quigg.
And even that, come on, Scott Quigg with what he's ballooned up to now? No. God knows how Quigg made 122. That guy goes to 155.
Yeah, I actually had a chance to cross paths with him at the Linares-Luke Campbell fight. I was actually sitting close to him. He talked about that, too, about the struggle it was just to make 122.
Oh, my God. That guy's giant. He didn't make weight for the Oscar Valdez fight.
Man, that was a hell of a fight, too.
Yeah. Potentially one of my top 10 fight of the years. So go check out that YouTube video, obviously on our YouTube channel, Mixed Combat Radio. Top 10 boxing fights 2018 so far. And maybe that fight is on that list. Go check it out. Debate. Tell me I'm an idiot. Tell me I'm right. Whatever it is. Jackson really having no idea how to deal with just the simple jab of Frampton. Frampton's able to evade a lot of the offense of Jackson here in the first round. Jackson trying to sort of find his range with a jab to the body instead of up top, but Frampton just takes a little half step back, gets out of range. Definite hand speed advantage for Frampton and just overall athleticism advantage for Frampton. What I want, though, is Frampton to get out of first gear. Because he never did that with the Donaire fight. He never got out of first gear.
Yeah, No, doing a live fight chat with that would have been the exact same thing. The theme we've been following thus far, It's the broken record. So let's see if we can see something impressive come out of this. It gradually starts
good right hand.
Picking his man apart and showing that he's still at that caliber.
Yeah, because if Frampton's still that guy, he should really get Jackson out of here. Like, this should not go decision, in my opinion.
No, if it goes to decision, I'll be disappointed.
Oh, good right hand there from Frampton. There's a little pep in his step, I think, for Frampton. Like, he's throwing a lot of these shots with some speed and power behind them. That's good. I think he probably knows he hasn't been performing his best in his last couple fights. He must know that.
Probably had his Billy Joe Saunders moment where he wants to do better. Maybe
that happens.
Maybe this is the fight where he shows that he is better.
And maybe also the opponent to make him look better too. I mean, even though Donaire is obviously past his prime, he is still Donaire.
Yeah, he's still Donaire.
And he's still, even though he moved up for that fight for Frampton, and now he's moved back down to 118, still the bigger guy than Frampton, I would say. Taller guy, I would say.
Yeah, about like maybe 5'6", maybe an inch taller than
Frampton.
Yeah,
I mean, enough to where, like, it's understandable if Frampton never got out of first gear for that fight because he didn't have to, he didn't want to because Donaire still has power. But Jackson, come on. Get out, get to fourth gear and get this motherfucker out of here. Make a statement and get that Leo trilogy fight. Because everyone's saying that Gary is going to get that fight with Leo first. And I think if Gary Russell gets the Leo Santa Cruz fight first, he might beat Leo.
Yeah, that would suck too.
Fat Apple saying that was a hard round to score in the first round. That was easy, 10-9 in my opinion for Frampton in the first round. Second round I started 2 minutes and 30 seconds if you want to sort of sync up with us. Good right hand in there to the body by Frampton. Jackson having no idea about it, like in sense of range, distance, not being able to land any shots still. Frampton still the aggressor, landing good right hand, left hook combination there. Luke Jackson landing a glancing right hand to the body. Good jab to the body by Luke Jackson. Winging left hook by Jackson misses. Frampton at times when his opponent's throwing offense, he sort of just gets, I think, like, hypnotized. Like, he just sort of just gets caught in a trance and just sort of sits there at times. I don't like that. Like, there's times like he just doesn't sort of like reposition himself, get out of range.
Almost looks like he's admiring his work.
Admiring his work, his opponent's work, like he's, I'm not going to say a little bit too comfortable in there, but he sort of is at times. Now, obviously, Luke Jackson's not being able to capitalize on it, but better opponents do.
Well,
that's how Leo was able to capitalize on it in the second fight. Because Frampton does have those, not lulls, because it's not like he's inactive, but he is stationary.
Yeah, the moments where he kind of just slows himself down a little bit, and then that's when you can just not jump, but take advantage of that moment where you can, like, steal it.
Like, he'll throw a combination and then stay in the pocket and stay on the center line instead of repositioning himself, getting out of range, turning a corner, trying to, get outside foot placement, whatever he's trying to do. There's just stuff that he just doesn't do sometimes. Even though offensively, I think he's truly a gifted combination puncher. His shot placement, his shot selection overall. Good uppercut there by Frampton.
And this is a guy who's fought with the physical disadvantages too. This is a guy who's fought guys that were like 3, 4, maybe 4 inches taller than him, had a significant reach advantage over him, and he was still able to box them.
Good combination to the body by Frampton. Good right hand. Another good right hand for Frampton. See that right there? He threw that right hand. And instead of taking that half step back or taking this step to the side, whatever he's doing, he just repositioned himself right where he was at when he threw the shot and was able to get caught with another shot because of that. When the combination right before that, he took that half step back And when Luke Jackson came back with the counter, he wasn't in range to land it.
Yeah, it's more. It's kind of like he's finishing his sequence and then thinking to himself, "All right, what do I do next?"
Mm-hmm. Second round is over. Easy 10-9 again, I would say, for Frampton. Let us know in the chat who you have winning, or you can call in 323-870-4051 if you want to give sort of your life breakdown as well as we do. Jamie Moore in the corner with Carl Frampton. Definitely seemingly having a better relationship than the McGuigans, from what it seems.
Yeah.
Good for Frampton to get out of that.
Yeah. I mean, eventually you do have to, like, move on, spread out, get different voices, different looks in so that you can improve as a fighter. That's what you and I ended up doing after we had our time at the Rock Gym. I went to Gold's. You worked with other people, and,
That's what you have to do. Yeah, it is. And I think a lot of people play it up for, like, loyalty, like you have camp loyalty, but man, if you want to better yourself, sometimes you need a change of scenery.
Yeah.
You get sort of stationary, to use a term I've been talking about for Frampton a lot, stationary in just your work ethic or just the stuff you've been doing.
You get complacent.
And plus, I think you become predictable in a certain style. Like, if you do the same thing for so many fights, there's a pattern that somebody can figure out. And guys that are better than you will figure that out. Switching camps up, switching trainers up does help that sometimes. Third round has started, by the way, about a minute and 50 seconds left to go. Both guys on the inside throwing some really hard shots. Frampton sort of allowing himself to get sucked into a little bit of a dogfight here in this third round. Yep, good combination there to the body by Jackson. As Frampton, I think, is deciding this. Maybe he thinks he can take the power of Jackson. He can just sort of fight this fight, but he has decided to sort of forego the movement, the footwork, and now he's trying to pressure Jackson and sort of get a knockout here. Good left hook there by Frampton.
Right over the top of the head.
Mm-hmm. Over a lazy right hand there from Jackson. Good uppercut. Jackson just clearly a few levels below, to put it lightly.
Yeah, just throwing single punches. Just kind of just trying to keep Frampton off him, really. Frampton working his combinations.
And it's hard when you don't have range. Like if you're constantly missing shots. Ooh, good combination there from Frampton. It's hard to sort of start throwing combinations to mentally get into that mode because you're missing everything. You now gain discouraged. Good body work there from Frampton with a good uppercut up top. About 20 seconds left in the round. I think, sort of like the Nomaschenko effect. More of the these guys aren't getting hurt necessarily; they getting discouraged.
Yeah,
you get that effect when you're at range and you can't land shots and you're constantly missing. You get discouraged.
It hurts more to miss a punch than it does to
and it takes
land
more out
it.
of you.
Yeah,
it in terms of cardio, it takes far more out of you. Because when you really land like those perfect shots that are like clean, they literally feel effortless. They for some reason, maybe it's more of a mental thing. It doesn't sort of take up that energy it does when you're constantly missing shots. Josh Warrington being interviewed right now about the fight. I cannot wait for Josh Warrington Frampton, especially since Frampton's actually looking pretty good here. Like this version of Frampton gives Warrington a really tough fight, especially if Frampton comes out with the game plan. If he decides to have a brawl with Warrington,
yeah, it's not gonna work out.
It's not gonna work out. But B, it is still an exciting fight, so I'm not hating on it too much. But if you are in Frampton's corner, if you're his team, you gotta be telling him, hey, okay, you can maybe fight Luke Jackson this way, but remember, Josh Warrington, you can't. You have to be on the back foot. You have to do certain things.
And he's got the ability to box him too. That's the thing.
He does.
He definitely has the ability to box him.
Man, Frampton coming out really aggressive in the fourth round. Threw a huge overhand right to start it off. Yeah, Frampton is not here for games. Plus, he probably saw Fury put on one of the most boring fights of the year.
He's got to put on a show for the fans, a fun and exciting show.
Yeah, he can't put on a goose egg. Good right hand there. Jackson, to his credit, though, is taking these shots pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's eating these shots.
He's eating them.
But, I mean, it's not like he's hiding glass. You know, if he was hiding glass, I think he would have been caught with something by now.
By now, at the very least.
Because Frampton's landed some really good hooks in this fight so far.
He's working the body, he's working the head, keeping his hands at home. It's not a bad fight.
No, he's doing good. And Frampton's always been good. Like, that's the thing. Like, Frampton's always been one of those guys that when he beat Leo that first time, when he moved up in weight after the Scott Quigg fight, there was a lot of people, me included, sort of, you know, banging the drum that he could have been pound for pound talent. You know, he had that potential in him. And obviously it hasn't worked out that way, but there was that sort of glimmer at one point that maybe we had this pound for pound talent who's a really good boxer, good mover, good combination work, exciting, has that Irish charm, you know, that sells nowadays.
And he knew how to come back from adversity. I mean, you remember that first round with Alejandro Gonzalez, right?
Yes.
That was a horrible way to start off your debut in America, but he came back to box the rest of that round and get the win.
He was the guy that got shot, right?
Alejandro Gonzalez?
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yes,
Alejandro Gonzalez.
Because Frampton came out, I think he helped pay for like the funeral costs or something. Like, I forget what exactly happened, but Frampton helped out the family in that situation. Really just a tragic event, but like good human interest story. Like, it's one of those, like, it was just a sad story for boxing, but that idea of like comradeship in this sport. Like, we were opponents, but that doesn't matter at that point.
Yeah,
you know? Like,
and
it's one of those good
that's what the
moments.
sport does.
Yeah.
Like, you could be enemies, but at the end of the day, there's a bond that's established that in fighting is unique. Just look at the relationship between Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward, right up until Gatti's death.
Yeah. No, I think that's another really good comparison. Or even like, it's different, but the way like Frazier and Ali talked about each other later on in their lives.
Oh yeah,
very later on
there
in
was
their
a
lives.
very strong love-hate relationship between those two.
Yes.
Because you could see that they respected each other, but they also had that kind of relationship where
They wanted to beat the fuck out of the other one. It was the two best guys of the era fighting each other. That ultra competitiveness, you know, and Michael Jordan versus Larry Bird. That sort of vibe where nowadays they play golf together. They hang out, drink, you know, scotch and whiskey, and smoke cigars together.
remember that shoe commercial they did together?
Remember fucking Space Jam, where they literally played golf in one scene. Like, it's just one of those things where I think obviously Alejandro Gonzalez and Frampton did a little more, obviously a tragic version of that, but it was one of those, just another feel good moment for the sport in a way. Garcia versus Dorticos was another one that's recently that I can remember. Fifth round has started. Frampton active as always. Good uppercut there. Santiago so bored he's texting his girlfriend. Fat Apple saying this is too easy for Frampton. I kind of agree. I can see what he's saying here. The problem with Frampton is that he also is a guy that doesn't really have that much knockout power. So he kind of has to be in these fights. Even when he was fighting subpar competition like Luke Jackson, he's never been a guy that's really put them out and knocked them out. Even at 122, he was never a guy that was knocking out people.
Yeah, he's the opponent. You know, this is the guy to make Frampton look good. If he plays spoiler, he plays spoiler, but we don't really hold that in high regard right now.
I think if Frampton wanted to, he can probably really, you know, up the pressure and get Jackson out of there. But good upcut there by Frampton. But I think he's doing good work right now. Like I think, and again, you have to also think about this: the years of boxing that's on this guy's body. If he has a war with Luke Jackson, then that hurts him down the road against fights like against Leo in a trilogy, Gary Russell, Abner Mares. Hell, Gervonta Davis is calling out 126 pounders. You don't think Carl Frampton would want that work? But if he takes a war with Luke Jackson, the likelihood he beats those guys goes down.
Yep, pretty much. I mean, you get an idea of where people are at this point, too.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not they're complacent in where their abilities are now, whether or not they have that same drive, and a word you like to use is like the urgency,
And, I talk about this a lot with like fighters that have just always been fighters, like people that boxed their whole lives, people that grew up on the streets a little bit, that just have been fighting their whole lives, basically, right? They will often, like Frampton, stay in range, not readjust themselves. Sort of get sucked into fights they shouldn't because that's just they feel so comfortable there. There is no sense of urgency to stick to a game plan because in their mind, this is another fight for me. This is fight number 1,099.
Round,
a million. I can just sit here. I can eat these shots, roll with them a little bit. Yeah, he's touched me a little bit, but they're not really affecting me. I often have that experience, I would say, in sparring. Well, like I would get maybe touched up on the outside, but in the ring, I don't feel them as such, right? Like, it doesn't really bother me. I can roll with the shots. I can stay in this range, but I'm losing the round.
Yeah.
I'm getting caught with shots still. They're still affecting me, even if I don't think they're affecting me.
Yeah, and like one example I have in sparring with Fern actually is that some days I'll feel a certain way where I'll just say like, fuck it, just charge straight forward, balls to the wall, take those shots. Fern's tagging me up and whatnot, but like I'm just kind of like, okay, whatever, I can eat these shots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it is slightly a mentality thing more so than a physical trait, I would say. That mental ability, though, is built upon doing something that physical, repetitively for decades, probably.
And I guess in my case, also having a pretty good jaw.
True. Fat Apple saying Jackson came in land now. This is following the Fury fight. Good old Box Nation top fighters picking cherries. Ooh, good little left hook there from Jackson. Round 6 has started. Yeah, it is what it is. These aren't the greatest fights, but
yeah,
we're here.
It's a showcase weekend, ladies and gentlemen.
It is. It happens. You know what? This because of this, we're not doing a live fight chat for Top Rank.
Hey.
We're not. I deeply apologize. We might do an immediate reaction, quick live video. So if you wanted to call in after the event is all said and done, we might do that. But I'm not going to give any more clout to these showcase fights. I'm good. Fat Apple saying Australians can't box unless your name is Jeff Finech or Costa Zoo. I don't know if the Finech was autocorrect because I don't know Jeff Finech. And that was supposed to be Jeff Horn. Do you know Jeff Finech?
I've heard of the last name Finech. I'm not.
How's it spelled? Oh, good right-hander from Frampton. Watch, we're gonna be talking shit about some bullshit, and Frampton's gonna get knocked out. We're gonna miss it completely. No, look it up. Look it up. Look up Jeff Finech. I'm curious if this is a autocorrect issue. Fenech.
Fen?
Yeah, Fenech.
I actually misspelled that, and it said, "Did you mean the way you spelled it?"
Oh, really? So this is a real person named Jeff Finech. Is he a?
Yes, he is an actual boxer. That was not autocorrect. Whoever it was,
Fat Apples. Shout out to you, Fat Apples. Teaching us something, because I have no idea who.
3-division world champion.
Ah, see, that shows you. When did he? When was he a champion?
He was born in '64, so I'm assuming the '80s.
Yeah, he's probably an '80s champ. Well, that's why I don't care or know about him. And I guarantee you he's a smaller weight class guy.
Let's see. I'm going to look that up right now.
Thank you. Fat Apple saying Matt stats with the oh my God emoji face saying you don't know Jeff Finetch.
Matt stats, but he's got the human box rec to get some kind of clarification.
I don't know Jeff Finetch. I'm sorry. I'll be completely honest. Bayside Boxing saying Finetch was a early '90s hype job.
And he's apparently best known for his trilogy with Azuma Nelson.
You know what? I probably have seen his fights then, because I was a big Azuma Nelson fan in terms of like going back and watching tape of Azuma.
Azuma was one of the best fighters out of Ghana.
Oh my God, he is the best fighter out of Ghana. I would say he's not the best fighter out of Africa. That's probably Dick Tiger, in my opinion.
Yeah, Dick Tiger. Such a tragic way to go.
He's from Nigeria, right? No.
He has Nigerian ancestry. I'm not sure if he's from Nigeria.
But that probably is Dick Tiger, not Azuma Nelson. Azuma Nelson is the best Ghana boxer of all time. That's
all right.
For sure.
He was the IBF bantamweight champion, the WBC super bantamweight and featherweight champion.
Yeah, lower weight classes. When you said Azuma Nelson, lower weight classes. Yeah, thank you for that little history lesson there. A little fun factoid of the day there from Fat Apples. Thank you. Fat Apples, I know you probably wrote this incorrectly, but I'm going to read it word for word, so I don't want to, misquote you saying, Finetch won the fastest winner of all time with the belts. I don't know what that means.
I think he meant was.
Finetch was the fastest winner of all time with the belts. Like he won a belt before anyone else. Like he was the quickest to win a belt. Is that what you're trying to say?
Maybe not the quickest, but I don't know.
Was his title fight literally the quickest? Like he won it in like a second or two?
I don't think there's any fight that beats the 20-second body shot knockout.
Yeah, I don't think so either. All right, Lomachenko beat the record, so that's.
Oh,
I was like, Lomachenko has that record, right? Like I'm thinking, like.
Yeah, because.
Anyways, Fat Apple saying that Jeff Finetch was the previous record holder before Lomachenko. Okay, makes sense now. Yeah, that's just something that I probably just don't care that much about.
They're terrible.
I'll be honest. Obviously, I think most hardcore boxing fans. By the way, it's the 7th round, 2 minutes to go. It's a fun, entertaining fight if you're just sort of just watching it in the background, in my opinion. Nothing really that impressive. At this point, at least. I think when you like first start being a hardcore fan, I think most people, especially maybe in our age bracket, have to do the long research on YouTube and Daily Motion, all that, look up all these old fights.
You mean the fun stuff?
The fun stuff, right? Like sort of like get a Reader's Digest in the last 100+ years of boxing history, right? The stuff falls through the cracks.
Yeah, unfortunately, it happens.
A Jeff Finetch is probably one of those guys. Oh,
90 seconds.
Oh, my God. Well, 90 seconds to call in before Blog Talk stops all people calling in. So you might want to hurry up and do that.
Don't forget to check your email.
Yeah, do not forget to... Oh, you're talking to me. But I'm just in auto mode right here.
And yes, for any international people that want to call in, don't forget to email mixedcombatradio@gmail.com.
Fat Apple saying it's pronounced Jeff Finning, spelt Finetch.
60 seconds.
Thank you. Because it's Finning, Jeff Finning. But I'll definitely look him up. Bayside Boxing here for all the smoke. Because he said Finning beat a guy 8-2 for the title. LOL. Oh. God. Damn. Is what it is. No one's going to call in? Oh, well.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Thank you, Blog Talk lady. Carl Frampton just piecing him up. This is easy work for him here, man.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to report on here, ladies and gentlemen. It's been the same round. Fat Apple. Yeah, you read that comment from Fat Apples? See, meanwhile, Framps is beating the pulp out of Michael Jackson. Yo, don't disrespect Michael like that. Come on. And plus, even though Michael got pretty white towards the end of his life, I think Lou Jackson's still whiter. Just saying. Bayside boxing, the IBF was like 2 years old, brand new belt, context is needed. Good point. When did the IBF start getting like actually recognized? It was in the 90s at some point, I want to say.
Yeah, because I know that the WBA and WBC are the oldest of the four belts.
WBA is the oldest. I think it was made in 63.
It used to be the NABA, but
Yes, and it obviously just changed names, basically. And the WBC was made the following year, but it was only made like a few months apart. Like one was made in November of 63, one was made in like February of 64. The WBO got recognized in the early 2000s, I want to say, right?
Yeah, it's the youngest belt.
It's the youngest one. Top ranked belt. Eighth round has started, by the way, 2 minutes and 30 seconds in the round. Fat Apple's asking the important question we all want to know. When will the IBO be recognized? I think that won't get recognized. I truly think, like, boxing media
honestly, the day
has
it
stopped.
The day it does get recognized, I'm gonna be like, so this is a thing now.
The day it does get recognized is the day I stop covering boxing for a living. Just being honest. Can't do it. Oh, Frampton doing a little dirty punch right there, a la Mayweather. Trying to do everything he can to get this fight over with. The problem is, like, when Frampton's in on the inside, Jackson actually gets his shots off and actually has been able to land a few good ones the past couple rounds, right?
Yeah. Like, he's been able to make it a pretty competitive fight just because of the fact that Frampton will just stop and stay there for a bit.
Will Frampton stop and stay there against Warrington?
If he does, Warrington's just going to beat him up at that point. So don't expect him to, and if he does, watch out.
Well, my thing is that why shouldn't we expect Frampton just to stay there and be able to get hit, like get sucked into that fight?
No, easily.
Our entire case study of Frampton shows us that he does get sucked into those fights.
Yeah.
Just saying. Preliminary pick, Warrington.
Yeah, same here, unfortunately. And thus far, I haven't really seen anything in this fight to really tell me that, yeah, Warrington's got his hands full. He's gonna have, like,
he's gonna have to figure out.
Yeah,
Frampton.
he's gonna have to figure him out, and that's about it.
Because I don't see Frampton hurting Warrington. And again, I don't see Frampton sticking to a game plan. I really don't. The only time body
left hook
shot
to the body, and down goes Luke Jackson.
Finally.
That took like what, 8 rounds?
Took us 8 rounds for a knockdown here, man. Luke Jackson, though, tough guy.
Yeah, with 30.
Because his right eye is actually pretty swollen.
Yeah,
it's not red though at all. It's kind of weird, but it's swelling up. You can tell.
No, like I said, Frampton's got some pretty good snap to his punches. If you got good snap, you can easily swell up a guy.
Good snap is arguable. He looks like he has good snap. I don't think he actually has good snap.
Maybe then Jackson's.
I don't think Jackson's that good.
No, I was gonna say maybe Jackson's skin's just a little bit more susceptible to swelling, like how Cotto was susceptible to cuts.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's a genetic factor. That's what people say. Did you see that? Okay, for obviously people listening and on podcasts, and they're in the corner, and Luke Jackson's corner, instead of putting Inswell on it, which is that big metal piece they put to like press on swelling, he literally just put his hand on his eye and was pressing on the guy's eye. Oh my god!
You know what? You know what's another notable example of that happening?
That's so funny. That's when you know we're dealing with fucking amateurs here, man. When they don't even have that fucking simple ass metal piece. They don't. They're using their bare hands to press on the swelling.
You remember when they put the ice water in the glove for Tyson?
Yes, I do remember that.
And then Lucas Matisse versus Danny Garcia, they use their fingers to press away the swelling.
Forgot about that. Oh, that's so good.
And they had an insole was a thing too, and then they just said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna start using my fingers."
Well, it was like Virgil Ortiz with who was it recently? Andre Durrell, right? Like they did nothing. They didn't give him water, didn't give him inswell, nothing. They just let that motherfucker get beat up. It was so sad. If you're Frampton here, round 9 has started, 2 minutes 30 seconds. Press on the gas. Like you had him hurt to the body. Start pressing the body. I think it's there to be hit. I think Jackson obviously does not have the power to make you fear him, Frampton, because you have walked through all of his shots, have not really taken a step backwards, have not seemingly get hurt with any of these.
Or even staggered. I don't think I've seen him get staggered.
Go Margarito mode, man. Like, just go all out here. Try to do something exciting because you've already got stuck into this fight. Like
you've already knocked him down with a body shot, so it's like keep working that body.
It's not like he's going from, beautifully, like, outboxing him like Billy Joe Saunders to trying to brawl with him. He's already brawling with him. But he's still not really getting out of second gear.
Yeah, I'll never see a more...
Oh, towel got thrown in. Fight is over. Luke Jackson's corner had enough, thank God. Because I had enough as well. Because we knew what that was. I would say call in, but callers have ended.
What about the emails?
Oh, emails. Let me check that quickly before we wrap up. No international callers want that work.
Damn, not even Robbie Hearns?
He's busy, man. You know him.
Eh.
Plus, he's still kind of upset about everything that's been happening behind the scenes.
Is he there live by chance, or is he watching?
No. He's not there live. No.
He probably turned off the TV already.
He doesn't have BT Sports. Shout out to
Robbie.
Pittsburgh Brew. In that link, you know. But quick sort of recap of, obviously, the card. We did not see the Christopher Rosales-Patty Barnes fight. I wish we did, though it's not reported. It's known. It's fact that Christopher Rosales knocked out Patty Barnes via vicious body shot in the 4th round. Tyson Fury obviously won via unanimous decision against Francisco Pianeta, set up a huge mega pay-per-view fight in the U.S., potentially with Deontay Wilder. They both said it's official. And Carl Frampton getting in a good win. I'm not going to say a great win.
Yeah, definitely a good win.
A good win, a quality win in terms of how he looked against a not quality opponent.
What gear do you think he was? Do you think he ever left first gear? Or do you
he got a second. He got a second gear. When he decided, okay, fuck the boxing, I'm just going to walk him down and start throwing a lot of combinations, that was his second gear. Though he never really got out of that, in my opinion. But obviously set up the huge Frampton-Warrington fight, which I think could sell out probably any arena in the UK, in my opinion. Those two guys are going to jaw jack at each other for sure. But definitely I think the highlight of the night is still Wilder-Fury. It's not a fight. It's not a fight that happened this night yet. It is a moment. It is a matchup that is potentially happening. That's indicative of the matchups that were here tonight and just how big Wilder-Fury was. Bayside Boxing, Barnes wasn't ready. I know. I called it. If you don't believe me, check out the Wednesday show. I said Patty Barnes, while being a quality guy and a quality amateur opponent, 2-time bronze medalist, I believe. Maybe 3 times. No. Definitely 2 times. Because in 2012 and 2016. Digressing. Christopher Rosales was too big, too much, I think, for Patty Barnes at this point in time. And also, he just didn't have the style to beat Rosales. Patty Barnes is a guy that wants to be on the inside, throwing combinations. Guess what? Rosales does that, and he does it at a pro level, at a pro technique, at a pro pace. And those are just different, highly different than the amateur way of doing it. That's sort of my recap of the night. Santiago, recapping it? Final thoughts?
Yeah, no, like I've been saying before, and like I said on Wednesday, it's a showcase weekend, and I'm happy to see Frampton get the knockout, but at the same time, I didn't see anything that basically told me that he's a level above Warrington. So, Tyson Fury did his thing. Still a little mad that we didn't get to see the Rosales Barnes fight, but it is what it is.
You can watch that on YouTube later.
Yeah, of course.
You know that. But I'm gonna be back. I don't know about Santiago because I'm not gonna make him sit through a 3-hour plus broadcast of top-ranked mismatches. And obviously, you can just join on the show at your own house if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But we'll be back later tonight. Immediate reaction. I will do that at least because I'm an addict. I'm going to watch these fucking awful fights, even though I self-hate watching it. But yes, we'll be back later tonight. Immediate reaction for the top rank. Bryant Jennings, Alexander Dimitriko fight, which, to put it lightly. Jesse Hart on the card. Shakur Stevenson on the card. Talk about that later. But yes, be back obviously later tonight. Tomorrow for our Patreon-only podcast, Championship Rounds. Same time as usual for our Monday through Friday show. And again, live Monday through Friday on YouTube. 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. in the UK. Every day. And obviously on podcast form, on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Be back later. Have a great day. Peace.
Later, everybody.